Have you heard of the Mid-State Mile? It's a 1 mile loop. You got to finish it in 20 minutes. There's like 400 feet of elevation, but you can do a mile in 20 minutes, right?
Everybody can do that.
But it's the last man standing event. We're going to bring that kind of thing to the Sawmill. We have some guys, great guys that we've already sat down and talked with. They love the terrain. It's easily one of those kind of places. I don't think we have a 340 foot elevation gain in one lap, but it'll be close. We're just going to work with law enforcement, military kind of thing. And we're going to do a rucksack portion. We're going to do a walk portion, a run portion, whatever, maybe we'll do a couple different events for that. But as we go forward with other things like it, we just want the Sawmill to be also a destination that you can do different things in.
You're listening to The Hot Wash by Born Primitive Tactical. I'm Bruno Fallon. I've spent my 4-decade career in some of the most elite units in the United States Special Operations community, where I learned that elite operators aren't made overnight. They're forged through hardship, discipline, and relentless drive. In each episode, I sit down with the most accomplished and innovative leaders in special operations, industry, coaching, and athletes of all disciplines. Let's jump right in. All right, everybody, welcome back to the Hot Wash by Born Primitive Tactical. Got a guest here that I've known for a few decades. We've been trying to get on the show. Retired Command Sergeant Major Dutch Moyer, good friend. Dutch, welcome.
Bruno, thanks so much for having me. Just so we're clear, I don't want to bother anybody. I'm not a command sergeant.
A sergeant major. I'm sorry. That's right.
I never got that far.
Yeah, you got pretty damn far. You got pretty damn far.
I was blessed.
Yeah, you were blessed. But Dutch, without going into the finite details, I think a lot of people know Dutch's background. He basically runs everything, operations and training down at the Sawmill Training Center in Lawrence, South Carolina. And before that, extremely accomplished operator in one of the special mission units that exists. And Dutch has got a really great history. You guys know that I don't go into the war porn of the details, but I'll just say that Dutch and I have a history that goes back to very, very early post 9/11 going overseas together. So Dutch, welcome, brother.
Thanks, brother. I'm really, really happy to be here. Number one. Number two, you have it going on here. You really have it going on.
Yeah, this is a cool studio. So,
and if I can be on a podcast that Scott Miller was on, I'm a happy fella.
Scotty and I were talking about you. Me and Norm were talking about you. I was like, I got to get Dutch on here. I said, I may not want to open the whiskey with the two of us because then it might go sideways, but I may. So, but no, man, it's good to have you on here. One of the things that I really want to talk about right up front is what you're doing at the Sawmill and the capabilities at range, because one of the things, coming from the community, and we were so spoiled where we either were on the best military facilities globally training, or we would go into a city and the city would open their city up to us. It's not that way for industry and business and private citizens. They've got to go find cool places. And man, Sawmill's got everything and not everybody knows about it.
It's a really cool facility. And, we're actually going forward with the other things that make it a destination and not necessarily, obviously 250 acres of would-be man camp, right? It's shooter camp. So let's not say man camp. It's not exclusively made for men, but the demographic it holds true. But 250 acres, 6 tactical bays. We have a 1,400 yard long range, diverse terrain. It's at the edge of the upstate in South Carolina. So it's about 45 or 50 minutes south of Greenville. But you're close to the mountains. You're close to the flatlands. It's actually a really nice place. The area itself is really nice. It can accommodate. It's got a lodge, so if you want to bring your folks down,
I think that's the game changer. Because the one thing I've done a couple events out at what used to be Prairie Fire is now Staccato Vegas, and the thing they don't have, they're 50 miles out in the middle of the desert, but they don't have a place for people to stay. So yesterday I was down in Moyer at Constella's Training Center, and they've got 250-man lodges. And the point being there is when a SWAT team loads bag and baggage, guns and ammo, and drives up from Broward County, Florida to go train somewhere for 4 days, they don't want to lose time going to a hotel. They want to have gear security. They want to, want to be able to shoot day, night. You got that. I mean, you have lodging on site. You have everything on site, and you basically lock that front door and you've got a compound.
Yeah, it's not as large as Constella's, obviously, but it's got its own kitchen there. You can bring food with you. You can get catered options. So it's kind of cool. The day room has made leaps and bounds. We've changed that around. The guys that are working there, Eric, Mike, Tom, unbelievable guys. I mean, I'm telling you, they're all veterans, and they work hard all the time.
Well, and the other thing you have that a lot of places don't have, like to include a drop zone, but you have terrain. So if guys want to do maneuver, if guys want to actually, jock up and actually do a movement and stuff like that, you have that.
And do.
And that's really cool because one of the things, I mean, you host so many events, Sawmill Showdown, tactical games, all the different venues you have come through there, Green Beret Fitness. I mean, I can think of at least 3 to 4 athletic rifle fitness competitions that go there, and it fully suits everything.
Yeah, proving grounds. Chad Wiley brings his stuff there. QP shoots out there. We have matches out there. It's and now I'm telling you, we're gonna do other things now. So have you heard of the Mid-State Mile? This ultra thing. It's a 1 mile loop. You got to finish it in 20 minutes. There's like 400 feet of elevation gain in every lap. So, but you can do a mile in 20 minutes, right? Everybody can do that.
Everybody can do that.
But it's the last man standing event. We're going to bring that kind of thing to the Sawmill. We have some guys, great guys that we've already sat down and talked with. They love the terrain. It's easily one of those kind of places. I don't think we have a 340-foot elevation gain in 1 lap, but it'll be close. It's going to be really good. So we're just going to work with law enforcement, military kind of thing. And we're going to do a rucksack portion. We're going to do a walk portion, a run portion, whatever, maybe we'll do a couple different events for that. But as we go forward with other things like it, we just want the Sawmill to be also a destination that you can do different things in.
Right.
But back to your other point, half you can do it. Gaff, you can do it. You could do follow-on operations when you hit one piece of the terrain and go to another one. Small unit tactics down by the river, small unit tactics up by the plateau, small unit tactics up by the HLZ all day.
Yeah, and even your 1400 mid range, you have the nice elevated platform and stuff like that too. So that's really nice. You guys can get up and actually do some distance shooting and things like that. But what's the vision besides some of the events you're bringing in there? I know at one point in time you guys were talking about building a few new facades and ranges and stuff like that. Where are you guys going with that?
All that stuff takes money and energy, as you know.
Right.
So right now we're focused on a lot of memberships. We're hoping that memberships will fuel some of this. But and I reached out to MGM. They make a nice shoot house. I'm trying to put a shoot house up by there by the HLZ. I'm thinking about compressed mud buildings at the 360 range, and then we're going to need target stands. We're going to need some target backers. Not backers. What am I trying to say? Bullet traps. Thank you.
Right.
I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Mind melt.
Yeah.
But we need some bullet traps for that. But that's in that 360 portion. I want a better sim shoot house. It's pretty good now, but I just want to make some couple additions. I would love to see like the building on that plateau of a 6 building complex. We build a little road in there. It could be gravel, dirt, whatever. And then we can build them out of connexes, or we can do whatever, but we have some connexes available. We can do that.
If you guys haven't figured out, Dutch coming from the Army is always in the improving the foxhole.
Got to do that.
He's never going to be happy, which I love, because every time I've gone down there, which unfortunately is only about once a year, just because of our pace up here. Every time I go down there, there's new stuff though, new change.
And
and you're progressing.
It really is. You mentioned the platform up the long range. That's like a pea pit type of gravel thing.
Right.
We're going to make it concrete. We're going to make it bigger. I'm going to put a sniper hide over there in the woods. I want to put up a defensive position where you would be, sandbag it, and then put a hard rectangle in there so you can fire your weapon left and right and making stuff like that.
I know you guys are improving the pro shop too, which is nice, guys.
Huge.
Folks get down there and need gear, need kit, and ties into a lot of the stuff that, that Steve and the guys also have some of the other businesses that they're involved with. Like, I still love some of the lighting stuff that I got from you guys.
The old Lunatic lights?
Yeah. Oh my God.
They make good stuff.
It is good stuff.
But now, I don't know, you may have heard of a company called Born Primitive.
Yeah, maybe.
We have a new partnership. I say new partnership. I really think it's a new partnership. I mean, we had a relationship before, of course, but we really want to see more stuff in there from Born Primitive. That's coming. We know that's coming. First Form Nutrition, Hardhead Veterans, Gunfighter Gun Oil.
We have Gators in there yet?
Yes, we do. Gators
Okay.
Eyewear?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. That's the displays
I
in
was
there.
gonna say, we partner with them heavy, and we're putting
Good.
them everywhere we go. So definitely want to do that. One of the things that I'll just say it's kind of fun that Dutch told me, I don't know, a year or two ago, He looks at me and goes, when the fuck are you going to do multicam? I literally have my entire team here knows that when our multicam lands in October, there better be like 3 sets going to Dutch, or I'm never going to hear the end.
You got it on your hat right now. I mean,
yeah, well, fuck, that's because I paid Richardson because they already own it. But no, my multicam's been a struggle for us, dude. If you only know to do a U.S. made fabric, so for those that haven't heard it, like, you know, the whole Born Primitive Tactical thing, I am not a crybasher whatsoever. It got me through a couple decades overseas. I like it, but when it gets wet, it stays wet. It gets stiff with the salt. I just wanted something more human performance, and you need to do synthetics for that. The only downside of synthetics, straight up, is if you don't have discipline on a suppressor or something like that, you can get some melts, but guess what? I've seen cry melt too. So it is what it is. But we got it. I mean, we built stuff that moves with the body, dries and all that. Well, the problem is the only place you could manufacture the stuff was in Asia. And in our brand Ethos, that's not really where we wanted to be. So it's taken us a long time with we're very tied with 2 fabric companies, manufacturers now, and then our cut and sew shops to get to where we're at. And honestly, to do that, we let out with multicam. So our multicam that's coming out is all either trade or berry compliant. And our trade compliant is still 100% US fabric trims and everything. It's just assembled in Nicaragua. The berry compliant is assembled in Tennessee. And what I'll tell everybody, if you want that made in USA versus Nicaragua, I'll be happy to sell it to you. You're going to pay me $100 more for a pair of pants. And let me let you know a secret. When I have it made in USA, we ship 500 Nicaraguans into Tennessee and they put it together there. And that's no joke. So, you know, choose your shooter right there. It is what it is. I mean, until you get in the apparel industry, I love when people say, oh, it's not made in America. I'm like, well, fucking Americans don't know how to work with synthetic fabric. You want to talk wool, flannel, cotton all day long. So we're pioneering it. I'm 2 years into, and we're going to release next year, a 4-way stretch, never been done FR uniform. It's never been done. But that's 2 years of us investing in it to get there, to give an American-made product that didn't exist before to our customer. But everybody's like, well, why don't you have no melt, no drip? I'm like, I'm going to the next step. I'm going to FR. So it will answer the mail for everybody, but it's going to be US made, and it's going to have the stretch. I'm not going to come off the human performance side. So that's kind of where we're heading. It is a perfect uniform for you guys down there because it's hot as balls down there, and you know that. So
everybody wears the tack pants. Oh, by the way, I'm wearing them right now.
Yeah, and the scout shorts too, man. I mean, the shorts that are basically the op pants. I love those. Hopefully, we got you some of those.
Bear just wearing.
Yeah, I think he is wearing them. You don't have those yet? Okay, you will.
Roger.
Those are another one I can't keep in stock.
So I was back in the day. I was issued what was called the summer range uniform.
Yep.
Okay, and the cargo short that was the summer range uniform came in like a tan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think. It was Work Apparel. I can't remember the name, but I think I have one still.
Yep.
Right. So I got it issued in 1999. I still have one. They've been repaired numerous times.
Oh yeah.
I can't wear them anymore because they're just so stringy. But I wanted to bring them and say,
make this.
Please make this.
I guarantee if you look at the scout short, you'll be like, okay, they already made it.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah. So we'll get you squared away on that. But no, that's what we're trying to do is we're trying to make this stuff that either A is not performance oriented or B doesn't exist. We have at SHOT, we're releasing our Patriot One boot, and that is a mid-assault boot. And, you know, everybody likes Solomons and all that kind of stuff, but it's a European toe box. And I'm going to tell you that for me, for probably 15 years, as soon as we were done doing what we were doing, I get them damn things off my feet and go to flip-flops because of how much they hurt the front of my foot. Well, we got a wide toe box now, and we've got a lot of other really cool things on engineering in them. Vibram built us a sole that it took them 7 swings at it, but it's quiet. So if you're to cut corners in our competitor's shoe, you hear 10 guys squeaking their ass off on tile. Our shoe's quiet. We have a layer in between the inner and outer sole. We pioneered this fabric that's stronger than Kevlar, bends like a napkin, So if you take a nail or a stick or something through the bottom of the sole, it won't go into your foot. The fast rope pads, we put them on this machine that did simulation of like 400 fast ropes. Wasn't good enough. I went and leased a Blackhawk, and me and Kurt went and did 90-foot fast ropes on them to see if they would burn through. And everybody thought we were idiots because we're up there doing 90-foot fast ropes. Who does that? But we're checking our boots. So those are coming out at SHOT. We're pretty excited about that.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. So we're getting there, man.
90-footer. I remember when I did a 90-footer. All right, quick training anecdote, ready?
Hell yeah.
So
Hell yeah.
my man comes down from CDD and he says, here's some new gloves. These gloves are the best. You need to have these. So we go to Hawaii to do some environmental training. And one of the first missions we do, we fast rope it into the canopy, right? Oh, it's only going to be a 40-footer. No, it was a big one. And I have these new gloves on. Burned right through those gloves. And so the next couple of days in the field, that was,
no hands.
I'm like,
the blister
all
man.
all good, baby. No, it was terrible. It was the worst.
It is so funny you say that because the boots held up and our fucking fingertips were fried.
But so, nobody tried them.
Yeah.
These are good. Yeah, they're fast rope capable. Plus, they have that tactile feel and they're flexible enough to work your guns, work your breaching equipment, whatever. No.
So that's what year did you retire?
13.
13. Okay. So I was just having a conversation with somebody. We're shooting for Kimber the last 2 days. They're releasing their whole new line to compete with some of the other major 1911 brands in the competitive world. And we were wearing in the ear pro, and mine died. And I just kept shooting because my ears are gone anyhow, right? But I had the conversation with somebody. I said, you folks do realize that when I came in 81, we didn't even wear ear pro to like 88. I mean, we didn't even wear helmets until I think other than a jump.
Foamies.
Yeah.
I wore foamies all the time.
So it's kind of funny. People are like, hey, man, I'm like, they're already done, man. They're done. So
tinnitus is my enemy now. I kind of bugs the crap out of me, but
me too. And we have had so many people on this show that are dealing with operator syndrome from blast injury or dealing with environmental injuries. Nobody to date in anywhere I've ever been has able to fix tinnitus. Now they're saying it's not even the ear, it's the brain. But I've been to like 3 studies. I've had the electronic shock in the head. Between the, I think most of it is from like the SF weapons days and the frickin', just all the shooting without any kind of real ear pro, and then flying 47s for so long.
Oh yeah.
They're toast, but like right now they're banging. So,
well, and it's when the guy talks about the operator syndrome stuff. So even today, when I'm a firearms instructor now, really for the most part, I would rather be known as firearms instructor, I think, than the operations sergeant major of the Sawmill. I'd rather be on the range teaching rather than behind the desk, pestering somebody for a check or pestering somebody about.
But you're doing both.
Yeah,
you are.
Yeah. So, but standing there, and I'm trying to watch the hands. I'm not watching the target. I'm watching the shooter, and you can just feel that pulse every time he's shooting. Right, he or she, and it's the guy talks about that like they're teeny TBIs, teeny. And the only thing I think that I've experienced really is a slight issue of recall of. We were just talking in the truck just recently about something that happened a year ago. And I'm like, I don't remember any of that. I don't remember any of that. So
it is what it is. It's, something I'll tell you that I've done is I've shifted my nutrition and everything in my training towards longevity, just trying to stay in the game now. But until somebody figures out the tinnitus thing, I don't know what they're going to do for us. So
just deal with it.
So let's talk about you and range work and all that kind of stuff down there. I don't think people realize the level of talent you have for instruction down there at Sawmill. And that's another thing I want to point out because people in that region. So one of the biggest things I'm running into at Born Primitive right now is we're getting a fuck ton of CrossFit athletes that want to get into the tactical games, into the Patriot games and all that. They are absolute physical animals, but they can't shoot. And some of them can shoot. They're familiar with guns, but they cannot competitively shoot.
I'll get you. Yeah.
So with the tactical games, the Patriot games, and all that kind of stuff, you can't just be a physical phenom and not shoot, and you can't be a world-class shooter and not be fit. It is the blend. So the people that are winning, hands down, are the elite athletes that are getting shooting coaches. Are you guys seeing any infusion of that down there?
Specifically, people that are fit that want shooting coaches, no. So I haven't seen that come across my desk just yet. I'm not saying it's not happening. We're working with Jeremy Yedesco and his wife's Full Auto Fitness out of Greenville.
Oh, yeah.
And we're doing a lot of what we call the FAFO Comp Ready. So they come out, oh, by the way, gosh, 50 people. Last time I think they had 35, they had 50 coming up. And they put them through the paces. They do an assessment because Jeremy's a pretty good shooter. He was at the TAC games.
He qualified for nationals.
The nationals,
yeah. Both Jeremy and Jackie are two of our ambassadors. We love them.
Yes.
We love them. I love what they're doing. Full Auto Fitness, Sawmill Showdown. We'll sponsor that every time they do one. It's funny. They're like, hey, we want to add an event. Are you willing to? I'm like, yes. Yeah, I'll support it. I mean, what they're doing, I'll support anything that goes into Sawmill from them. But yeah, they would be great people. If you guys ought to, and this is just a business thing, those open range days you have, you ought to think about getting you, Jeremy, Eric, Jackie, and all those guys, and maybe running some tailored courses for tactical athletes. Because the biggest thing that I see is, number one, like since you have the range out to 1,400, the tactical games, they shoot out to 700. And you get these people that don't know their dope on their rifle, don't know their hold, don't know anything like that, and their guns set at 200. And as soon as they have to take those shots at 400 and 500, they're lost. Now, oh, by the way, Dutch makes them fucking put their rifle and their backpack on and go run the range road real quick and then take the shots and look at what they are. And that's what the tactical game is all about.
Yep.
So having a guy with your background and those two that compete, I think it was something that if you guys put together and market, I would be sending athletes there, because that's the biggest thing that I get is, hey, I need help shooting. I'm like, well, fucking run an apparel brand right now. I'm not, now I will say this, Born Primitive, and this podcast will be coming out after it's announced, but we are effective 14 September, the title sponsor of the Patriot Games.
Nice.
Which is exciting to us.
Congrats.
The couple that runs that down in Florida is awesome. We're going to expand it. But when we have a dedicated rep down there, we have a Florida regional rep. Julie's a firefighter paramedic that actually competes in the games and is my rep down there. She's going to be our Patriot Games rep. But I'll tell you, I'm getting asked by competitors, where can we go and learn to shoot? You could probably run like a weekend camp, bring tactical games people in, they stay in the lodge and they can do day night. You could do work with them, just something to think about. So what else is out there in the realm of what Jackie and those guys are doing? Because I know they're trying to bring more of like that fitness shooting aspect out there. Is that kind of the angle on it, or? Yeah,
it's especially the FAFO Comp Ready stuff is, hey, come on, get an assessment, and then let's do these 5 core exercises. What do they do? Go climb a rope, go run this shuttle run, go carry this heavy weight, whatever, throw it around the over your shoulder, or you throw it over the barrier, whatever you might have to do, just to get ready for stuff like that, mentally ready, and then obviously physically ready. But
right, very cool.
They could do a great job doing it.
So let's talk about our buddy, the man doing the mystery rappel. So Steve, I hope you listen to this, fucker. So, when I first got the news, the first thing I said is, thank God he's alive.
First and foremost.
Thank God he's alive.
Thank God you're alive.
Thank you, he's alive. So if you guys don't know Steve, Steve is the owner, the man down there at Sawmill, and he is a retired career special operator, aviator, officer that we all know dearly, very good friend of ours, but apparently not overly qualified in hooking up for the rappel.
He's completely qualified. He just forgot. He lost his mind for a split second.
So so Warrior Woman was there. Didn't he put every single person down that rope safely? And then they chanted, Steve, show us how to do, I think it was a slack rappel.
I'm saying that's not what happened. I'm sure that's not what happened.
Okay.
Steve.
Yeah, Steve.
No, it
didn't happen?
No.
And then he hooked up for a slack rappel, and 45 feet later, he found the ground, no slack.
Pretty much no.
And
Zero.
he went out on a freaking air evac.
Yep.
And now he's relearning how to walk.
Yep. He's getting there. From the beginning of it, after the first couple surgeries, there was no weight on your back and no weight on your ankle / legs for 12 weeks. And he's not through that yet. God bless him. But it's hard. It's real hard too, because he's detached from the sawmill itself. And that I think that hurts more than anything. And it was funny too, because Brendan and I talked about it. We read a story about a warrior who lost his mind and ended up doing a murder-suicide or something like that. And she was smartly saying, you know, what happened to him? How did he get lost? And the same thing with somebody like Steve. I don't want to get lost. You know, you did this happened to you, you got to go. And, you know, he's still trying to work from the back scenes, but it's not that easy. It's just not that easy at all.
No.
And I don't want any veteran like that to get lost. And all of a sudden, you know, you've gone down a road you don't want to go down. Steve's got his family there with him, though, for sure. He's way better for that respect. But
yeah, I think, I don't remember if it was you or Joby first reached out to me and said, we got an issue. And then I also heard it from our friends at Warrior Women that like, hey, this happened, just so you know, because they know I'm close to Steve. But yeah, my first 15 questions were always, is he alive? Is he going to make it? You know, because it was very clearly told to me that there was no braking. It was basically a 45-foot free rappel, and
yes,
like not hooked up.
It wasn't rappelled at all.
Yeah,
it's basically like he just jumped off.
Yeah. So, and Steve was, you know, Steve was not. He's what's Steve like 64, 65? 64. So anyhow, I'm glad he's still with us. You know, when I talk to him, I try and be supportive because I can tell he's frustrated, but you can tell he misses the day to day out there with you guys and being part of it and all that kind of stuff. So we'll figure out a way, but the second he's back and healthy and all that, Born Primitive is going to make a no repelling shirt for him. He should never be on that tower again.
Terrible.
So, it's freaking crazy. Hey, this is Bruno, and you've been watching the Hot Wash by Born Primitive Tactical. Please don't forget to like and subscribe our podcast, and thanks for watching. Now back to the podcast. What about some of the stuff that, like I know that in the future, Joby, when I was talking to him and Steve and things like that, they were looking at different ways that people could know about the sawmill. How can I help with that? I mean, besides the thing that came to me with the tactical games and all that, is there any other, are you looking to bring, like, I know I talked to Nick there from the tactical games, but if you wanted, you know, do you want us to bring events there like the Patriot games and stuff like that? What's the desire on your open range days to fill it with? Is it people coming out there and shooting, or is it events, or is it law enforcement agencies? Or
yeah, open range notwithstanding. So that's a multiple point question, right? A multiple answer question. Military and law enforcement agencies. So I do a MILLEA development free course pro bono every quarter. Sign up for it. Come on. Oftentimes we have 20, 25 shooters. So that's a whole nother deal. And then usually I talk about it. It's either going to be performance carbine, or it's going to be accelerated pistol, or whatever we call it, whatever, barricaded this or CQB that. Open range days are traditionally for members and just for folks that we want to cultivate to be members that are local, that want to show up and shoot zero long range. Unlike one of our competitors nearby, only 2 people can occupy their long range, and you have to book certain times. You know, you put probably 14 people on ours. Anyways, what else? What was part of the question? So military law for open range. What else do you ask me?
Well, one of the things I would say, because we've run some foundation events out there.
Oh, hold on. You said yes, 100% for Patriot games. Yeah. If they can come up, of course we want that. What else did you ask? There was
just trying to think of what you guys are looking for avenues to bring in.
Okay. Yeah. Advertising and stuff like that. Yeah. You didn't say advertising. So one of my initiatives that I talked about last year that we're going to finally put together is the Sawmill Training Academy. So everything we do there, whether JT teaches it, Tom teaches it, I teach it, Eric teaches it, whether it's a stop to bleed class or evolutionary gunfighter, that's all part of the Sawmill Training Academy. But now we're going to make it a marketable thing. We want you to know, hey, come on up to the sawmill
Right.
and do these basic courses and you get this.
Do me a favor, talk about the evolutionary gunfighter, because I love the concept of it.
So I'm going to forget this other stuff though. So
now we'll come back to it.
All right. So Evo Gunfighter started when I was done with the agency and I was done with retired and I was poking around and then what'd you see on the web? You would see some shooter say, "Oh, I'm going to do rifle 101 and then rifle 102 or rifle 103 or whatever." You know, I'm like, well, I wanted to call my courses something different. I didn't want to say basic rifle, intermediate rifle. So I tried to do like a catchphrase. So to me, everything works from an evolutionary standpoint. When I first started shooting, combat shooting, and this is one of the questions, by the way,
Yes.
that Ironclad provided, it was the double tap. 2 shots, quit. 2 shots, quit. Nobody talked about follow-on sight picture. Nobody really talked about trigger reset, trigger manipulation. Nobody talked about any of those fine things that really build the complete fundamental package. So I'm like, okay, so if you just start off being a shooter, to me, that awakens the process. So the gunfighter awakens, basic. Evolutionary gunfighter is the intermediate, and the time of the gunfighter turned out to be something that we would do for an advanced thing. It was pay one price, ride all day for free, like you would at whatever amusement park. But Evo Gunfighter by far is the most popular. And it's a 2-day shooting course. Day 1's all pistol. Day 2 is mostly all rifle. But there's pistol integration in between. There's competitions. There's a whole bunch of stuff in between. I mean, we easily shoot 500 rounds of pistol on day 1. And people like sometimes they're shocked at that, but it's proficiency through repetition. It's Bob Keller said it all. You know, there's no magic formula here. You have to wrap around all this stuff in the basic fundamentals and shoot. It's time behind the gun.
Right.
So that's evolutionary. The whole process to me was from double taps into now, doing, I don't know, moving from station to station, shooting on the move. That all evolves, and really the evolution I saw, even growing up as a ranger. I mean, even as a senior leader in the Rangers, you're still doing pretty much a double tap, pop up, pop up, and then war starts. And it wasn't just 2 shots to the body anymore. Now it's 6 shots to the body. Oh, how about just shoot somebody in the face now, because that stops the electricity.
Right.
And if you're good enough to shoot a 3x5 card in the chest, why not shoot a 3x5 card right here? Because that stops the music, and there's no return from that. And so that's that part of that whole evolutionary process through the crucible of combat.
Love it, man.
There you go.
So so before we go to what we were talking about, let's talk about your background in shooting. I mean, you are a very accomplished shooter, and from what I see, you love gravitating towards handgun.
Appreciate what you say, but so what's accomplished mean anyway? Let's start there.
Accomplished is someone that has been in the combat shooting realm, and I'm, if you know me, we do have some ambassadors that shoot competitively in that type of realm. I'm a combat shooter, and that's where you are. So you've been doing it a long fucking time, teaching it a long fucking time, and come from a organization that is known as Handgunners. So how's that?
No, I really appreciate it, but like accomplished, right? So somebody asked me the other day on social media. I say the other day, it was a year ago, maybe what it was. What's your ranking at USPSA?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I don't have one because I don't shoot enough competitively. I really don't. So I think that's lacking. That's part of me that's lacking to me. I don't shoot enough competitively. We shoot competitively on the property itself, on the park. I call it the park at the sawmill. And we have a lot of fun. We shoot against the timer. We shoot drills. We do a lot of stuff like that. But it's not the same as going to an IDPA, USPSA, or IPSC match. So I don't do that enough. I do pull the trigger a lot and gravitate towards handguns. Why? Why handguns? It's because the regular armed responsible citizen can't walk around in the street with an AR-15 on their back, but they can walk around with a pistol in their pants. So that's why we focus on the handgun. And You said I can say whatever I want, right?
Hell yeah.
So any homo can shoot a rifle, bro. Anybody can shoot a rifle.
Especially the optics.
And that's not true, of course, but at the same time, the rifle is so much more forgivable than a pistol. The pistol is absolutely, hands down, the most unforgivable platform you're ever going to shoot. Any tiny little thing you do changes what's going to happen in the target. So it's nowhere near as easy as a rifle. So
no, I agree. We just spent 2 days shooting with Kimber with their new line, like I mentioned before. And there's only 2 of us that were heavy 1911 shooters. And the other guy, who's a Miami-Dade SWAT officer, one of our ambassadors, is a competitive shooter. And he is very good. He's master and blah, blah, blah. But him and I immediately gravitated towards the guns because we're 1911 shooters. Well, the other 4 shooters had a lot of time on Glock, SIG platforms, you know, and all of a sudden when you started having a hammer safety, a grip safety, a little bit bigger of a gun and stuff like that, we literally spent the first half of the day getting everybody comfortable with the guns. But yesterday, by the time we left, I had them over on a Rogers range, and we were doing a timed headshot drill. And our most novice shooter, which none of them are novice, but out of the 6 of us, she was crushing it. Because once she got comfortable in that 5-inch accurized 1911 and felt good with the gun, it was a game changer. And it was really cool to see. But I will say this, I've been shooting now a long time on the Staccato, and I love that XC. It's a great shooting gun. Kimber reached out to us as a brand and is developing a line to compete with Staccato of 1911s and want back in the game. And it was kind of funny because a lot of people around here were like, Kimber. I'm like, hey, hold on. So I told the Kimber VP of marketing, I'm like, hey, my nightstand gun's a Kimber. I said, I have one that's stamped LAPD SWAT that is a single stack 45 ACP that I can fucking tack drive with. It's got a Crimson Trace laser on it. It's got a Surefire on it. It's my nightstand gun, right? I said, I have a little bit of allegiance because Kimber, I can tell you at one point in time before Customs and Staccato, it was the best out of the box 1911 ever made.
It certainly has that reputation. Yep.
And then self-admitted, when they moved from New York down to Alabama, they went through some changes. And they got beat up a little bit in social media. Well, they fixed all that and they're back. And we shot 3 models that they're getting ready to launch, that we did all their content for them. And then we shot their very high level line, their Target, their 2K11s and all that. I'm telling you, I was impressed. Good shooting gun. Good shooting to the point where Jonathan, who was our best shooter there and a competitive shooter, he essentially said, if you do these 2 things, Bruno might shelve his Staccato XC. So, but no, I'll tell you, I literally went on video saying this, and you can't buy my name. Kimber's back. These fucking guns shoot nice. They are really, I'm a 1911 guy. Really good shooting gun, and I think that the consumer, when they get a hold of them, is going to be really pleased.
Cool.
I am personally Team BP. We are going to be competing in the Patriot games next year, and we are going to run Kimbers. So we're gonna get after it with the Kimber. We think,
nice, man.
Yeah, I think it's kind of fun. I definitely want to get you on one though, just to get your.
Who might say no?
Yeah, I know, man. I know. So
you twisted my arm. Ow.
So Kimber, I know you're gonna be listening. So we got to send Dutch a gun. So.
Oh my gosh, you're killing me.
Yeah.
Hey, so I want to go back because I'm gonna forget this, and you're gonna forget it too.
Okay.
So we talked about the Sawmill Training Academy just a little bit. Like I said, I want to do. You do the basic stuff, you get this. You do the intermediate stuff, you get that. I want you to be part of this. It's almost like the Pokemon thing. You got to catch them all. So I want you to be part of all that, whoever this is, right? The collective. And then what's really exciting, I think, to me too, is that we all know Sig Sauer has some issues.
We do.
Part of the community.
We do.
Yeah, we all know.
They hit a bump in the road. Gotcha.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I'm truth in advertising. I love my Sig Sauer. I have 3 320s, and I'm not afraid to shoot them. But FN is next door in Columbia. I talked to Dan Hines and the folks at FN, and I said, 6 Hour has the 6 Hour Training Academy. FN right here in Columbia needs the FN Training Academy at the Sawmill. So that's what we want to do next. So we're partnering with FN, and we're bringing a lot of what I want to bring is I want to bring in their folks, their sales folks here, their engineers. This is how the gun works. This is how you need to do this. But just let them do this, right? And then you let them use our land for their training academy, and then maybe develop more from there. So we'll see what happens. So,
no, I'm a fan. I had the opportunity. This is about a year and a half ago, up at the Crucible Range up by Fredericksburg. FN, we went and did a shoot with FN, and I shot a titanium M240. That thing was fucking sweet.
Is it light?
It is super light. The control, like, because the weight, I was expecting it maybe to be a little bit harder to control. I was shoulder firing it, no problem. I mean, not even down on the ground.
Suppressed?
Bipod, suppressed. But it was, I mean, I have video of it somewhere, but it's, matter of fact, I have a video of me shooting it, wearing all black rifle stuff because we did it with black rifle, but, it was impressive.
How much more expensive is a titanium?
Oh, you have to ask them.
Yeah.
They just handed it to me and said, "Here's a can of ammo. Go have fun, Bruno." And
and you did.
And I did. It's like when Chris Dillon says you can shoot that can of mini, and I'm like, I'm not asking why.
I know.
Yeah, it's like, let's go.
Let's go and do that.
So, no, that would be cool. An FN Academy and stuff like that. I'll tell you what I want to do there.
Come on.
I have a uber elite group of ambassadors that come from different walks of life. I want to do an offsite where I bring my top tier ambassadors, and I get like a Dan Horner, who we're friends with, and a couple other people to come in and have like a shooters weekend that we focus on getting everybody better on 2-gun that's going to compete.
Let's do it.
That's what I really want to do. So we need to find some days and put it on there, and I'll get the invites out, and we'll bring them in, and we'll just do a retreat down there at Sawmill.
One of the other things we're looking to is through with WRRD, and that's the Audacity Radio Network, and WRRD 98.9 out of Greenville. We want to do a 2A Tuesdays kind of thing, which, by the way, you were included on the last email that I pushed out. So we'll see how that goes. But I want to bring trusted agents that we know, right? And then bring them all together and say, hey, this is our community, 2A Tuesdays, powered by WRD, radio. They're the biggest radio station in the upstate. So see how that goes. But we're just in the beginning stages of some of that stuff. Things are looking really good there, to be honest.
No, that's good. And I knew once they brought you on and once the dust settled and you had a vision, that would be a solid move.
Too kind.
No, it's sometimes you have to have that person that has the vision, and then you also have the clout. That's the other thing is well, it's the Sawmill. It's a great training facility. Well, who's there training people? So that kind of helps there too. So let's get to something fun, because people that know you and I are going to be like, yeah, they're talking about the Sawmill. They're talking about Born Primitive. They're talking about business. Let's talk about something that fucking drives us nuts. Let's talk about the fucking modern male right now.
Oh,
and the lack of tea in the world out there, and why dinosaurs like you and I can still be competitive males.
because we walk around with $1,000 computer in our hands, in our pockets, and because that's what they do. I think they're distracted by the world, right? Not focused. People want to get paid. You see this in law enforcement when you train them. You do. They're on the team, but what is that guy's deal? He made the cut, but he just wants to get paid. There's a lot of that going on, man. And with the Warrior Method guys that I'm working with Mickey Pittman, and then this whole, me and another couple guys are trying to start this whole, I don't know if you want to call it a corporate thing for young men. I want to bring young men into the fold and say, hey, bro, try that this way. Think about it this way. And bring a warrior ethos to these young men, right?
That was the word I was looking for, is the ethos. It is to me, and that's something I always get. My two favorite subjects, and they're leadership subjects, is mindset and ethos. The biggest thing that I see lacking, I don't care where I go, in business, in the gym, whatever, is that ethos of wanting to win, wanting to be number one, wanting to be the best, and not just settling. It's amazing to me how many people out there are fucking good with average. And I mean, you've never been that way. I've never been that way. Average is fucking last place. So it's kind of a weird thing because you can just get mud sucked now into your cell phone, into reality TV, basically being a fucking pussy and not being a man. And it's just
What?
it's just strange to me because I get out there and the one thing that you and I are noted for in the community is being very forthright in what we see and what we have. And I find myself how I have to debrief people much different. And I'll tell you, it's not here at Born Primitive. I'm talking about like when I'm working with people in business and stuff like that, or trying to teach somebody something in the gym.
You saying you have to be more careful? Is that what you're telling me?
Not only more careful, but more kind. I mean,
Yeah.
it's one of those, and I even teach my junior leaders this now. It used to be if I was going to train Dutch in something like, okay, I'm on the Kimber range and you're doing 6 things wrong shooting, I would sit down and go through you with all 6 of them and try and fix them all. Now I have to tell you 3 things you're doing right and 1 thing you're doing wrong because I don't want to break you and I want to keep you in the game. And then once we fix that 1 thing you're doing wrong, we'll go to the next one because if I tell you you're doing 6 things wrong, you're just going to crash and I'm going to lose you. And it's just the culture now of punching somebody in the face and being hard nosed of, hey, dude, you suck. But you know what? If you can actually focus and get some drive, you wouldn't suck because I see it in you. And it's so difficult for me right now. I see it in so many people that I'm like, this person could be anything they want and they're nothing.
You're a dinosaur.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know.
Dinosaur.
There is to be how do I put it? To be friendly about something. I mean, there is a reason for the empathy quotient. So there is. I mean, it does work to a degree. We're all different creatures, right? So this person over here can't hear it that way. That person over there can.
You definitely got to know your audience. You're right about that. You definitely have to know your audience.
There's a demographic of shooters I particularly don't want to shoot with, and so what demographic is? I'm glad you asked. It's mostly I don't want to shoot with females. I don't. To your point, I don't think I can be as brash, as brazen, as hard, as as mean as I can be with a bunch of young men. I can't be. So
I will tell you this. This is no bullshit. I beg to disagree right now. I'm finding that the men are softer than the women in our community.
Yeah.
This is no kidding. I'm telling you, like I just did a range shoot for Kimber and the 3 females we had there were friggin' hard as nails, fit. And you're trying to teach them something. They were ears. They were on it. They're shooting. Now those 3 females, one's a federal agent, a very elite unit. One's a friggin' firefighter, paramedic. It's one of those that they don't just come from they're not just a female learning how to shoot.
Okay,
they come from the community.
Well, these ladies obviously already know how to shoot.
They know how to shoot already, but I'm saying culturally, I think there's many hardcore women out there right now as there are men in terms of how you can talk to them and how you can instruct them. Go to the tactical games. Go to the tactical games and look at some of the female competitors there. And I'm talking about that culture of class. I don't know if you want to teach the housewife how to pistol shoot. I don't think that would ever work. But I'll tell you that I think there's plenty of women out there that would gravitate towards your type of instruction because they need to be kicked in the ass and told. And I just worked with 3 of them. So I think they exist is what I'm saying. And I've had more problems since I've been in the private sector with hurting men's feelings than women, if that makes any sense.
I don't have any problem with that.
So yeah, I get the feedback. You're just too hard, man. And oh, by the way, and tell me you're not the same way. Just because you suck today doesn't mean I think you suck tomorrow. Let's clean up what made you suck.
Of course. Forget about yesterday. Let's go.
It's like Dan Horner when he was on this podcast and he's talking about when you drop a round. If the next 5 rounds you shoot, you're thinking about the one you dropped, you're done. I'm the same way. If somebody, I used to love when a Dutch would come to me and be like, "Hey, Bruno, why don't you fucking do this and fix it?" And I'd be like, "So cool that somebody told me exactly what I need to do to be better."
What do I get lately? I get, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing? Like, my first, like this guy, great dude, pulling out his pistol. It's shooting, we're doing a plate rack at 12 meters and miss, barrier. He's not hitting the target. He goes, what am I doing wrong? My first comment, you're not hitting the target. Let's try to
hit the target.
Let's try to not push the gun around when you're pulling the trigger, because that's what you're doing. You're just throwing the gun around when you're pulling the trigger.
Right.
So that goes back to the art, though. The art of the guns, the pistol itself. Pull the trigger without moving the gun, and that's.
Are you seeing most of the people showing up at the range? I mean, I've seen the movement to everybody being red dot and not being iron sights.
Sure.
Yeah. So that was funny because yesterday, or the first day we're doing the Kimber shoot, all the guns were iron sights. And then we put red dots on them all. And I'll tell you that putting people on a 1911 for the first time with an iron sight, that also, by the way, the rear iron sight was just blacked out. So you wouldn't have that like glow U or something you might want to have in a tricked out combat sight. And as soon as you
was
told
it fully adjustable rear? I'm assuming not.
It wasn't. They were fixed. And as soon as you told people just shoot front sight post, get them on the front sight post. But as soon as we put the red dots on, it was like, and now everybody can shoot. I mean, me included. I'll be honest with you, going, once you get accustomed to a red dot, and you're looking for that when you come up, for me at range, especially. But it's just kind of interesting because you don't see a lot of people shooting iron sights anymore, except for concealed carry,
Law enforcement agencies, a lot of them are still, the one that's nearby us, where they're just finally going to a new pistol with red dot. A lot of law enforcement agents come with iron sights. Their department doesn't want to push the money, and to me too, I'd say it's not just, okay, so right away when you get a pistol that has a drift sight in the rear, so obviously it's not fully adjustable.
Right.
The red dot makes it fully adjustable. So now it's more accurate. So you have less liability, more accuracy. And then the situational awareness that comes from the dot. I mean, I like guys like, who runs CSAT? The Paul Howe.
Yeah.
Right. Like, you don't want a red dot. Come on, Paul. Come on. Yeah. Come on, bro. Get in the game. To me, again, when I'm looking at that target, when I can see the red dot, I can see over there too. I can. Your peripheral vision. And to me, it works best with target focused training too, because it's that dot that shows up in the acceptable place when you can let the trigger go. It's better for predictive shooting. It's better. It's just better for reactive shooting.
I like it better too. And the one thing I've noticed is once somebody does a transition, you'll see people shoot better with both eyes open.
Yeah.
You'll consciously notice that when they're on iron sights, they're always closing that other eye to try and get that sight alignment. You get them on a red dot where they get used to it a while, and you notice that they have both eyes open, and which we know is situational awareness. So it's cool on that. What else? What are you seeing in shooting trends out there? I mean, what's something that you see quite a bit of that shows up on the range that is just maybe something that just to talk about? Like to me, the one thing that I am seeing, is because of the competitive shooting, I am seeing a movement back to the large frame 1911s. There's a huge movement back to them. And I think that's why the manufacturers are making the move they are to come out and put, these match grade competition guns together that people can shoot in either competitive or tactical games type shooting.
I have to be honest. I'm not seeing a big trend like that where I am, but
because you're dealing primarily with law enforcement, right? So
yeah.
I'm sure it's still the massive SIG Glock crowd, right?
Or it's the 4-inch gun.
Yeah, 4-inch gun.
G45, whatever what's that? I'm not a Glock guy. You can say whatever you want out there. It doesn't matter. I'm not a Glock guy. I just don't know the numbers. I haven't committed the numbers to memory. What's the KOA? Is that the Glock 45 KOA?
Yeah.
It comes with a dot, so it's the whole package. I think if I'm not mistaken. Trends. No, how about Isn't that funny though? When you talk about trends, how can we just get back to the fundamentals? Because we
Okay.
don't do that.
Yeah.
They don't do it. What's the next flashy thing? How about go back to pulling the trigger without moving the gun gets you there, and the grip keeps you there? How about that? How about that? How about what I've seen really in the last 2 years to me, and the evolution of it to me, the evolution to me, my personal evolution is a whole lot less. Back in the day was front side post focus.
Right.
It's target focus, man. And the evolution of combat, when guys like Ben Stoker and Matt Pranka were good friends, good people, and I would completely agree with their philosophy on shooting. It's if you're at the stop and rob, if you're at the local place, whatever, wherever you want to call it, right? You're in the Walmart parking lot battlefield and you get accosted and you have to draw your gun. Is the regular person, are they looking at the front side post or are they going to look at the target? They're going to look at the person who's assaulting them.
They're on the target.
They're going to look at the person who's assaulting them. So why not train that way and to be completely target focused? But that to me, that's better for me. Again, like the evolutionary part of it was a double tap and nobody cared, to now there's a whole, I'm not articulating very well. There's a better way to look at the fundamentals. And it's through the mix of competition. And I mean, people say, well, there's no mix of competition in real life. Well, what's your goal in competition? Shoot faster and more accurate than the other guy. You better be thinking the same thing if you're in real life. You better be shooting faster and more accurate than that guy, right? Because you're going to live and you're going to save the people around you. So
yeah, it's one of the things we're preaching here with our crew is the value of dry fire. Just how much money can be made there from the draw all the way to the sight picture and squeeze, and just, you don't have to be on a range and be jamming mags to make money. We actually in the back there in the tactical section have a ladies and a men's gun belt hung up where I tell everybody, how about take 10, 15 minutes each day and just go dry fire? Also a good stress relief. They just walk away from their computers, their desks, their phone calls.
Wouldn't it be nice to be in a business
right,
that says go dry fire for 10 minutes?
Yeah, we have a little bit of a different culture here. That's all I'll say.
Dude, that's amazing. That's cool.
Yeah. I mean, if you go in Bear's office next door, you'll see the freaking Liberty gun safe I put in there that pretty much is loaded out with Staccatos, Sons of Liberty Gunwork, Viking armament, and Kimber fucking pieces so on Friday mornings for BP Tactical, if we're in town on Friday mornings, we're shooting.
Is there a range close by?
Yes, we have 3. So we have Freedom Arms, which is right down the road, about 2 miles. It's an indoor range. They give us an entire bay. So we're able to move and shoot. We're able to do different target things. It's fully climate controlled in Virginia Beach. That's pretty cool. And that is our normal go-to. Then out in Suffolk, we have Bear Swamp, where it's outdoor range, rifle, steel, pistol, anything we want. And then if we want to make a little bit longer of a drive down there in Moyer, we have Constellas. Mm-hmm. And they have everything.
How far is that from here?
About 42 minutes, if you really want to know.
Oh, that's not bad.
It's not bad at all.
42 minutes, 30 seconds.
Yeah. Well, you got to know plus or minus 30. Well, I tell you what, 42 minutes, like, to be honest with you, when we load up my Suburban with 4 of us and the guns and the ammo in the back, by the time we get a cup of coffee, by the time we hit the security gate down there, we've talked through what we're doing for the day.
Yeah.
We've kind of talked our
Can you go anywhere you want down there?
Well, you have to book the ranges, because there could be some other ranges. Like Virginia Beach PD has their own range down there that they're always on. But like yesterday, we were on what's called range 1 and 2. One is a Rogers range, which is really fucking badass. And then range 2 is their covered range, steel, paper, anything you want. And that's real nice. But the one thing about the covered range, I will tell you, for guys like us with the tinnitus, that covered range adds that noise.
Indoor, bro. Indoor too. Indoor, the overpressure. Yeah. I mean, we say overpressure. It's not a breach underneath the ground, but it still doesn't go anywhere. Right. I really don't like indoor ranges anymore, ever.
Yeah, and I actually prefer the drive and going in the outdoor stuff, but the indoor range is convenient because it is 3 minutes down the road.
Oh, 100%.
But the that range at Constellas. And so that's where we're doing that range day on September 4th. It's which this podcast will be after that when we release it. But we're having a huge range day, and it's the beginning of something special there that we're going to be doing annually. We started planning this say about 45, 50 days ago, and we had to cut it off at 110 vendors. And all the premier vendors are coming.
Dude, that's great.
Yeah, it is great. It's so on range 2, which will be the premier range, we're gonna have Sons of Liberty, HOTWASH suppressors. We have a marathon targets with their moving targets. We're gonna have Kimber. We're gonna have First Form out there, Grizzly coolers, Born Primitive. But that's the showcase range. You can come in and then just go down the line, and everybody who's anybody's there. So it'd be kind of cool. And we'll see how that goes. That might be something you guys might want to look at doing.
So to that point, we are talking about going to more of the tactical association type stuff. I did a lot of that stuff on my own back in the day. And then last year with the Sawmill, I did a mobile training team, if you will. The Indiana, we went to the Indiana Tactical Officer Association and did that.
Yep.
We focused on CQB, and I was fortunate enough to stand in front of everybody and give a little speech. It was great. So yeah, we want to do more than that stuff. Certainly is regional. South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, Ohio, maybe as far as Indiana, probably not as far as Texas, even though the TTPOA obviously is a big deal.
Yeah, TTPOA is a powerhouse,
and I've been there numerous times. Yeah, I'd love to go again, but again, it depends on what the future is with the Sawmill, how we do that stuff. So,
well, one of the things we're looking at doing, and we haven't decided a location yet, but both Born Primitive and Sons of Liberty Gunworks and HOTWASH suppressors, we kind of have this triad going on where we're doing some really special stuff. But we've been talking about, and this is feedback from law enforcement, is putting together a no shit, legit national level SWAT competition. The ones that are out there are either in the same competition for 20 years.
Florida.
Yeah, SWAT Roundup. Which it's good competition, but they know it's the same one they're going to every time.
So does it remind you of Best Ranger competition? The guys who win Best Ranger competition usually dudes from
there,
the training battalion,
from Ranger Division. Yeah. Well,
RTV.
and then the one that's being run out in Vegas by Staccato, again, a great competition, but it's a tactical game. It doesn't have. It's a gut check. It doesn't really involve technique, grading, scaling, anything like that. So we want to do something happy medium. We want to do something with contingencies and all shits, who are teams that show up that are best prepared for the mission. It's not who's the fittest. It's not who can clear the room the best. It's all of it. So we're going to put something like that together. And that we're doing that in 2026, and we're figuring it out. Probably bring in some other partners like First Form, Sornex, stuff like that. But maybe that's a venue for Sawmill.
What?
Yeah.
Could be.
I mean, and the thing about it is we want to make it, and it's kind of funny because the SWAT teams that are coming to us at Born Primitive are like, you guys know how to put this together. And I'm like, yeah, we already have a vision for it. Is there an appetite for it? Well, we put it out there, and we had like 75 teams say we're in if you. So I think
that's awesome, man.
Yeah. So maybe we need to look at that.
Well, yeah,
something like that.
We do a little one at the Sawmill. I say a little one, the Ragnarok. I think it was 12 teams last year. It's good for a regional, for sure. It's a nice little deal. It's always a lot of fun.
I mean, you got the real estate. You've got the real estate and stuff like that. But we will definitely take a look at that. But what on a personal level there, what else is near and dear to your heart? Anything we could talk about? Anybody that knows you, like, hey, man, what's going on with Dutch personally? First of all, there's probably people that are going, oh, fuck, he's still alive?
Still alive. Somebody reached out to me the other day on Instagram and said, on text, and he said, dude, you okay? I'm like, why? He said, because I don't see any reposting of any stories on Instagram. You don't do Instagram anymore. I go, I loathe social media. But I totally understand why we need
have
to do it.
Oh my God. We're so fucking alike.
You guys are good at it though. You're good at it.
Yeah, dude. But I went 40 years without having a single, matter of fact, I could be at the command and they could do a screen on me and they couldn't even find me on the internet. Now I'm fucking everywhere because of social media. it's like, I don't even have a Facebook account. Born Primitive Tactical doesn't have one, but I'm all over it.
Same.
So it's one of those, it's a necessary evil. If you're in this business, you got to have it. We are good at it. And I'm absolutely engaged in it completely because it's part of what we do to be successful. But I can assure you this, I didn't have it before Born Primitive. And when I hang up my spurs here, I won't have it. So it's a necessary evil that I'll play the game.
I kind of want mine to be like Goggins. There's 3 million people following Goggins. He doesn't follow anybody.
Yeah.
he says this thing. He does this thing. You suck. Get out there and run.
Right.
And then that's all you got to say. That's what I should.
There's nothing wrong with that. No, there's nothing wrong with that. I also think that us as a business, and we're looking at it heavy with what's coming on AI. I'm going to be punting social media anyhow, because between marketing and social media and everything else that's coming with AI, it's going to be impossible for a knuckle dragger like me to even be in the mix. So, and that AI is serious. Like,
so does that get into the next subject? Thanks for making all this noise.
Why don't you talk about who? Because some people are just listening. Why don't you talk about who we're?
This is Kaya.
So those of you that are, Kaya is his mom that is all in his lap right now and loving him up. But
she likes her name.
Brought a beautiful dog, and we're dog people here. So if you're not watching this podcast, she's munching on him right now.
Want to talk?
Too funny.
All right.
What were you going to talk about?
I don't know. Well, AI. You talk about AI.
Yeah.
What's the future of the world?
It's just one of those rhetorical Dutch questions that I'm supposed to know the answer.
No, you can't know the answer. We can't know the answer.
I will say this. Not to cut you off.
No.
It's a hell of a lot better now that we got Donald Trump in than it used to be. How's that?
I'm going to have to say yes to that. Yeah.
Anyhow, what do you got, buddy?
No, it's just okay. We didn't even talk about why you brought me in here. Anyways, I'm really happy with you bringing me here. I appreciate it, but
we can get there. I'm not in a hurry.
If it makes we talk often about if it makes a difference to that one individual. I'll tell you the stuff that I do at the sawmill, especially when it comes to teaching. It's really important to me. I did a piece of work in Indiana a couple years ago, and 2 weeks after I left or so, I got an email from a guy that said, "Hey, got into a real shoot today, and the only reason why I got back to my wife and kids is because of you." And I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" Right there,
best message you'll ever get in your life.
Put that on my gravestone, and that's good enough right there.
Oh yeah.
So that's really important, and that's what I continue to try to do. Try to make a difference. If we can make a difference to a few people here and there, that's all I care about.
So when it comes to that, what's the passion in life right now? Is it to teach people to survive the day of the situation? Is you just love being outdoors and all that? I mean,
I love being outdoors, sure, yeah. But I mean, who wouldn't want a job there where you can mostly go outside?
Go outside and shoot.
Yeah.
So we talked about some good friends we have. We've had Scott Miller on this podcast. We've had Norm Hooten on this podcast. We've had some great people. One of the reasons I wanted you on this podcast was not to pump Sawmill, not to talk about how soft men are, not to talk about shooting training. It's just you, the person, like known you for a while. And every time I get around you, I get a little bit of, okay, I feel better because we are the same cut of cloth, and we are that brash, hardcore, it needs to be right guy. And knowing there's guys like you and I that are still surviving and still out there doing it makes me fucking feel great.
You just turned 60.
60.
God bless you.
Thank you, sir.
I'm 61 in September.
Yep.
So, and I need to up my game though, because this guy named Bruno Fallon was on social media looking all ripped at the beach with a hooting young cigar. I'm like, bro, gosh, I need to get my game on. I've been slacking.
My game is on right now. I am going through some changes in life right now on the personal level where my the gym and the range and coming to work at Born Primitive is my sanity. So you can only work out so many times in a day. It's like I am fucking a training machine right now. And it's funny, I go away on a work trip or I go away on a visit or something like that, and I don't train for 4 days or something. And I feel like a glob of shit. And then I get right back in and I realize you ain't lying.
Well, I think I was just talking to Bruno about this the other day. Does your body respond well to when you start back up again?
So,
whether it's a 4-day loss or a 4-month loss?
So no, anything longer than 4 or 5 days, I'm in a hurt locker. I start to have massive pain. I start to all the injuries start to come out. Like honestly, fitness to me is the lube. If I don't get in and train, I start to have body aches.
Motion is lotion, man. Come on.
Man. The other thing I noticed too, and it's so simple. We just said this the other day because of 2 days on the range. If I don't hydrate, if I don't pump the water in me, to me, not training and not hydrating are the two worst things for my body at 60.
How many liters a day?
For me, you're going to laugh because yes, I piss a lot, but I'm anywhere between 1.5 gallons and 2 gallons a day.
How many liters is that?
That's 6 to 8.
6. So I'm a 4, at least 4.
Yeah. 4 should be the minimum.
Yep.
Guys our size. There's no question, you can go into the whole salt thing and everything else, but there's no question if you're a 200 plus pound man that's eating a good bit of food and athletic, that if you're not getting 1 gallon of water a day, that all the stuff you don't see in your body is not functioning right. So,
all right, here's the next one. So now I'm interviewing you.
Yep.
Which
I love it, by the way.
Key supplements. Give me what's your core supplement? I was going to say give me 5, but I'm not going to
tell you the best.
Give me your core supplements.
The best tried and true supplement out there, hands down, scientifically, creatine.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why.
Concur, by the way, concur.
Yeah, and honestly, the one thing, I'm a blood guy. I do my blood every quarter. I look at it. The creatine levels are always going to be high on me, but the science is there for guys like us. 10 grams a day. It promotes brain health. It promotes everything you want for the muscles, the fullness, putting that water in there, but the brain health aspect of it is huge. The science is there. I actually got into it. I actually fired a private physician. I went there and he tried to tell me that I needed the vax. And I was like, go fuck yourself. I'm not getting the vaccine. It's not tested. And he goes, well, it's more tested than that creatine and testosterone you're putting in the body.
I disagree.
I'm like, testosterone and creatine have about 30 years of data. Your fucking vax has about 30 days, sport. And now look at the truth. It's come out. But I fired that guy as my personal physician and found another one. And you cannot argue with the fact of some of the supplements that are out there. So yes, my number one supplement is creatine.
Okay, number 2. All right. So can I ask you, do you think TRT?
Yeah, I do.
Is that a supplement?
It's a hormonal treatment.
Right.
So
you don't.
So yeah, anything you're putting in your body exogenous is a supplement. So yes, it is a supplement, but it's hormone therapy.
Okay, so I haven't done TRT yet.
Are you getting your blood work done?
So funny you say that. In my hotel room right now is a blood work package that I need to do and send in, but I haven't done
So
it.
when you do, let me see your blood. I look at more blood for more of our buddies than you know, because I've been looking at blood for a long time.
I don't want to do the 10X thing.
Okay. And make sure
we want to do that.
Make sure when you get your blood done, and by the way, for guys like us that are retired, TRICARE will pay for blood work every quarter. Oh hell yeah. They'll pay. You can get blood work done every quarter. You can go to a LabCorp, whatever. But make sure that you ask for the metabolic panel, because the metabolic panel will be everything we want to look at.
CMP.
So it will let you look at things like, and you can see not just, your testosterone level's low, but if you're, we have this issue with your prostate, we have this issue. The fucking blood tells the tale.
So after the cancer thing I had, I used to do CBP, complete blood panel, and then it was CMP, right?
Yeah.
So complete metabolic panel was one of them, and the other one was CBP.
Yeah, and if you just tell them the metabolic panel, because normal blood work doesn't pull everything you want. Like some of them don't even pull like glucose and things like that. You want to look at it because honestly, nothing tells your body more than blood. And I will say this for guys and gals that are getting their blood, do the fast the way you're supposed to. The night prior, stop. Don't have anything that morning because it does affect the blood.
Sure.
It absolutely does affect the blood. So just go in there and do your blood the way you're supposed to and get it pulled, and then go have your big breakfast and your freaking double frappuccino or whatever you're into. But I mean, honestly, Dutch, the thing I'll tell you is the 3 biggest things that we can do better at our ages is get more rest.
What?
Get more rest.
That's not happening.
Yeah, I know. Fucking get more rest. Fucking pump more fucking fluids, and I mean clear fluids like water through our body, and continue to exercise. And I'll tell you right now, like even, so I train 6 days a week. At my 7th day, I like to call it an active rest day. But even if you just go out and, you know, you and Bryn go walk a couple miles,
No,
just get up and get moving. You know what I mean?
Yep.
The worst thing we can do in the human body at this age is underfuel it and underuse it. Because I think I just saw something the other day, and it was actually science based. They're trying to figure out in men, and the women's study will come right behind it, but they're trying to figure out in men when these huge metabolic age shifts happen. And it's kind of crazy because I know when I had my first one was right around 43, 44 years old. I had a metabolic shift, and that was that I cannot go drink with the boys anymore and not be a bag of shit for 3 days. I cannot eat 2 cheeseburger meals back to back and not feel like shit. I just, my body started saying no, right? I had my next one around 56 or 57. And I know there's a big one coming, and that's somewhere in the late 60s. And that's the one where if the body protein, everything drops off. It's different on each person. But the science came out, and the science says the 2 big shifts in men are age 60 and 73. That is when you have the biggest shifts in your body that if you're not ready for and don't have your body, you're fucked. And we're both 60 plus. So I've already been through 2. And I guarantee you have at least been through 1 or 2. So there's more bad news coming. Right. The one thing I do want to give you, another supplement that's essential, that a lot of people don't get, is magnesium. Magnesium for the body is absolutely essential. So supplements, it's exactly that. It's a supplement. If you're eating good whole foods, you should get most of your dietary needs out of your food. Well, guess what? For males our age, for athletes, for specific things, you're not going to get, unless you're eating fucking 4 meals or red meat a day, you're not going to get the creatine.
And your lifestyle, you're not going to get the creatine at all. And your lifestyle, when I hear RFK Jr. say, I don't eat processed foods anymore. Try that with your busy schedule.
Yeah.
Try that. It's so difficult for me not to eat processed food.
It is so difficult. And then the other thing is, I will go, I got a bottle of Hooten and Young here. What? I love fucking Norm.
Poison.
And I'm going to tell you, like, if you do the science, we know the detriment physically to our body for alcohol, but I know the mental plus side of it. I had a business dinner last night with some folks from Angel Armor. And after that dinner, we all went and had a cigar and a whiskey. And I'm going to tell you right now, that was Bruno needed it. I have shit going on in my life that I needed that moment.
Yeah.
So guess what? Get up in the morning, get your ass in the gym, and freaking continue to go.
Pay for it a little bit.
Right. But so you got to still live life. And I didn't get to 60 years old and survive all that shit we survived together in combat to not enjoy life. And I did meet that D-Day survivor that was, 100 plus years old that says he has a cigarette and a bourbon every day, a cigar and a bourbon every fucking day. And he was over 100. So maybe I'll make it to 70. I don't know. But my point being, there's moderation, enjoy life. But there's no question in my mind that the more toxins you remove and the more you move your body, you're going to do better in life. And that's I have shifted everything. I used to want to be the guy that when I walked in the gym, I could, deadlift 750 pounds, squat 500, bench 450. Now I'm the guy that wants to be 75 years old and look over my shirt off. You know what I'm saying? That's the goal now.
Yeah.
And you gotta live for it. So supplements, I'd be happy to sit with you, but the first thing I'd love to do is see your blood. I will tell you, if you haven't had the The two foundations that I'm the biggest behind right now, and I'm about behind a bunch, but I'm talking about for soft veteran way of life. Warrior Health Foundation, they're out of South Florida. They do all 4 services. They are soft centric. Sean Rosario is the CEO. He is a former Tier 1 Navy operator that started it. I've been with them now for, I want to say 5+ years. They are the ones that showed me how fucked my hormones were. They're the ones that I get my hormonal treatment through. It's free to us. So you need to register with Warrior Health, get your blood work done, and then they can help you with the path. Now, I will tell you, just for the listeners out there, for every single guy in the program, it costs them $5,000 to support a guy annually. So those with the deep pocketbooks that like guys like me and Dutch, for every $5,000 donation you make to Warrior Health Foundation, another one of us can get in the program. But I went from a testosterone level of 197.
Gosh, that's terrible.
Okay. And when they look at the TBIs and they look at all this shit, you're crashing. And you know, there's I know freaking active duty Navy SEALs that had 30-year-old guys that had T down in the 200s from blast effects, blast injury, and all that shit. Stress. You think if you know what the human body does between combat, divorces, fucking extended deployments, eating like shit, not sleeping, it just kills the body. And what is the operator lifestyle? Did I just not describe every bit of it?
Yep.
Right? Like, who do you know that doesn't fall into that exact group? So Warrior Health, hormonal balance treatment, and they are fucking experts at it. And again, you're getting in line to get in there. And then the other one is Hunter 7 Foundation.
Hunter 7, yeah, I know.
I love those folks. I love what they're doing. I will tell you, I was scared to death to get my body scan because I thought this is when I find out. And I got out of the back end of that 90-some minute ride. And then they called me 2 weeks later to reaffirm with the detail analysis. And they're like, yeah, man, if you die in the next 6 months, it's because you're going to get hit by a truck. It's not because your body's falling apart, because that body scan pretty much tells you everything you need to know about what's inside your body. Now, if you got a blood disorder, skin cancer, something like that, that's something else.
Weren't they really focused on cancer for quite some time, or is it
cancers, blockages, anomalies, brain tumors, all that kind of stuff there? But it's a really deep dive look at your body. And I got my scan right at a time when 3 buddies had died from brain tumors. And I was freaking the fuck out. So I went and did my ride, and they tell you, if we stop the ride in the middle, you're going to the emergency room. We found something. You're like, fucking don't let the ride stop. So you go through this ride. They actually put Netflix movies on in a mirror because you're in there for so long.
Where do they do this?
I went up to just outside of DC. I want to say there's 7 or 8 locations in the States. They find the one that's closest to you. And
maybe it's not the right contract. Maybe it's not the one I'm thinking of.
But the company that did my scan was called Prenovo.
Okay. And
they did our scan through Hunter 7 Foundation. It was a first-class event.
Wasn't it NICO or somebody used to do one down in Florida?
NICO is the program that NICO is for guys that are getting out. So NICO now, the guys go through NICO, which is like the Walter Reed affiliate, and all the operators that are going out go through a month-long up there. They get
missed that.
We all missed it.
I missed it.
It didn't exist. It didn't exist when we went through. So I'm sitting over there, retired as a government civilian at this command here in Virginia Beach. And all these guys are going to NICO and coming back and hearing all this cool shit about themselves. And I'm like, yeah, fucking didn't exist for me. Like Ear Pro, like everything else.
Like Angel Armor. Well, you mentioned Angel Armor, right? They're level 3 and level 4 plates are quite light.
Oh my God.
Not when I went, not when I walked around the Western Euphrates River Valley.
do you remember your first ever ceramic plates?
Paraclete, probably.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
Velocity, Paraclete, Crab Precision. I don't know who else.
Yeah. But no, good for the guys too. Because the one thing I'll say,
good for them. Yeah.
Well, and the thing I'll say in their defense, I had 19 years or almost 20 years when 9/11 hit and went 10 more years. There are guys that came in 2001, 2002 and have done 20 fucking years at that pace. And I really want to keep an eye on these guys.
There's some dudes I know that 26 combat deployments. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
They lived the Ranger life before 9/11. And then as soon as it started, they became a Ranger like right before 9/11.
Yeah.
And then all the way through. I mean,
Yeah.
it just never stopping, man.
Yeah. It you know, I even tell law enforcement all the time, like, you know, you guys need to be careful because there's some folks out there that may be bent from some of the things they've seen. And when you go serve that warrant, knock on that door, you might want to run who this is first, but, you know, because there's some guys out there that are properly fucking trained. One of my ambassadors brought up a great point to me. He was a Fayetteville SWAT, Fayetteville gang unit guy. And when you think of Fayetteville, you don't think, wow, that's a pristine SWAT team. Well, guess what? Every fucking single person there serving a warrant on there was former freaking military.
It could be, surely.
And had that fight to win mentality. So it was just a different game that they were going on there. And I'm like, you know, that does change the game.
Heck yeah.
It does change the game who the opposition is. Because what's everybody focused on right now? The next fight, near peer, you know, fighting an enemy with equal capability. Well, those cops have been doing it in Fayetteville for freaking 10 years.
Yeah.
So anyhow, what are the questions you got about you and human performance in your body?
I don't know. I wasn't thinking of it that way, but like when we talk about like the 5 core supplements, EAAs, BCAAs, vitamin C, creatine, HMB, and then you can get lost in the sauce on this. And I just went through a whole bunch of stuff the other day. Like I carry around with me a little box full of shit.
You
right?
can, and you can over supplement.
Oh yeah, you get carried away. So I just recently went and cut all this out.
Yeah. So I'll finish up on this with supplements. Is number one, take what you need, not what's on Instagram or what's being promoted. And what you need is based on your blood. It's that simple. The second thing is if you're buying it, buy the right shit. If you're buying your supplements from Walmart and they're not third-party tested by a brand that what's on the fucking label is actually in the pill, properly mixed, purity, you're not taking shit.
Yeah, concur.
So take the right stuff. I'm a big Thorne supplement guy. You know, it is what it is. There is the probably the last thing is just the word supplement. Eat a good base diet, eat often, stay hydrated, and supplement your nutrition plan. Now, for guys like us, I mean, I just came off 3 days on ranges where I did not eat enough, did not fucking drink enough. I didn't do any of that. I am not going to take 3 days worth of supplements that I missed today. I'm going to pick up where I left off. I'm going to pick up my nutrition and I'm going to continue to steer and move on and not worry about it. But there's no makeup day. If you missed it, you missed it. Just get right back on track. So,
concur.
Words to live by, right?
Amen.
Anything else you want to talk about, brother?
I don't know. What else is there to talk about? I'm sure there's something else.
Well, I want to talk about something. One other thing, and then we're going to wrap this up. So, one of the things that I think is near and dear to guys of our age is we're in our 60s. I'm talking about the guys 50s and up that have gotten out, that are either not actively doing stuff anymore and letting their mind go, or not challenged anymore. My biggest concern right now, as I sit here, is 2 things: the suicide rate in our peer veterans and the health rate of our peer operators that we serve with, because they stop using their brain and they stop challenging themselves and they just fucking age and they die. I don't know if there's any answer to that, but this is something that I like to use the podcast for, as a wake up call to any of our brothers that are out there that are hurting or anything like that. Like, I'll tell you, like, if you want help on how to get back in the human performance side or something like that, I'm your guy. If you want help because you need help, you need to find your buddies, reach out, and say, I've got a problem.
I have some really good friends that every once in a while, it seems like it's God delivered right on time. Somebody says, just checking on you. You good? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. But that's
a great text though, isn't it?
It's
I fucking get those all the time, because I
proof of life, bro.
I go quiet and they're like, hey man, you good? And literally I get, yo bro, or you good?
Yeah,
or something. But that to me is this motherfucker cares. This motherfucker cares.
Yeah.
And I make sure to reciprocate. It's like, hey, it's funny. Like I go through my phone, and this is a work thing. I go through my phone and I'm trying to clear out old texts because I have so many every day from work and this and that. But if I see a buddy and I'm like, ooh, I haven't talked to him in a while. Hey, dude, you good? Right? It's the same thing, right?
And I'm not that good at it, bro.
Well, get better at it because we got guys that need that.
Yep. 100%. I totally agree with you. And I don't know who out there is listening, watching. Have you ever contemplated it? And I'm talking about suicide. There are times when you can do that. I've been in those holes where you're like, yeah, what if we just get rid of this? We could just do this and then we get rid of all that. But then there's, I don't know, but I've been there. Anyways, the point being is that once you get to that spot, just like Bruno said, get out there and talk to somebody right away. Hey, do whatever it takes to get out there and say, hey, just ask somebody, hey, anytime because I'm saying this, I'm admitting it to you right now. And it's something that there's some shame in it too. I don't want to admit that. But if I admitted that to somebody or to whoever's watching it, you can understand that, it happens to all of us on occasion.
It does. It does. I don't care who you are. And the one thing I'll say is like, to me, and this is the thing I think about is like, it's a way to eliminate where you're at, but it's very selfish to those around you. Like if you have
Completely.
kids or something like that, because they don't understand. So it's just something to think about, but
it's a mess to clean up.
Yeah. Oh, fuck, dude. Yeah. And it's not a way to go out with the way we have lived. I'd rather, I literally say this all the time, and by the way, it's legal now, but I really just want to be put on a fucking ship and burned at sea. That's how fucking Vikings are buried.
How is it illegal?
There's states that you're not allowed to burn a body on the water. So it is in Virginia.
Rocket
Virginia and Florida, and I'm going to be fucking burned in one of them.
Rocket Gibraltar.
Okay. There you go.
Anything? Does it do anything for you? It's an old movie.
I'm trying to think.
Rocket Gibraltar, and they actually do that for the old man at the end.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. Oh, that's an old movie.
That's an old movie, yeah.
Dude, you're like reaching way back.
Yep. And it's, and then you watch a Viking movie or watch 13th Warrior.
Yeah.
I'm not a heathen. I'm a believer, but still, it's wouldn't be a horrible way to go.
No, man, fuck. I mean, I'm 100%, a Norwegian bloodline, was, adopted and raised in a Catholic home, but I'm fucking Viking to the bone. That's how I want to go. It's one of those where, well, first of all, you got to fucking wait like a year now to get in Arlington. So for me to be buried next to my brothers, you're going to have to freaking have me sitting in an ice box for a year somewhere. So why not just get this shit done? Move on, right?
Take all your stuff. Take a little boat out there and zap you.
Just do it. Fucking everybody listening to this is like, what the fuck? These guys are drinking the whiskey.
We haven't started. You can clearly see that.
Yeah. So, hey.
Well, if you're not watching, so.
I'm going to wrap this up.
Wrap it up.
But this is how I'm going to wrap it up. We do have a good mutual friend, and you have not had this yet. So Norm over there at Hoot & Young is, we work really good with Hoot & Young, and we love working with these guys. Same fucking ethos and mindset as Born Primitive. And I've had Norm on this podcast twice. He is always the most requested guy.
That's cool.
He's just such a good dude, man.
He's a good dude.
But this is it's a good whiskey. And you have not had the new bourbon yet.
I've not had it.
It is Kentucky bourbon. So from Born Primitive Attached, but really from Norm Hooten, from me to you, Dutch, it's a good bottle of bourbon. But more importantly, oh, by the way, since you did say multicam hat, I do have one for you.
But getting caught up on
you
that.
Come from the military culture, and I can't go anywhere without having my own coin from the podcast, brother. So from me to you, my friend, come here. Big fucking you. Any final words for anybody that's listening?
Oh,
They can be anything you want.
Stay switched on. Train, prepare. Bad things are going to happen. Bad things happen to all of us all the time. Gosh, making a mess. But just prepare.
Yeah, man.
And believe.
My closing notes is, see, Dutch and I are not angry men. Some people think we are. We actually care about people.
Yeah, be nice to each other out there.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Let's take care of our brothers and sisters out there. And for our crowd that's listening, that's not just military operators, that's law enforcement, first responders. You know, that even goes to people that answer 911 calls, people in fucking trauma rooms, the shit that people see, you can't forget, you know? So take care of each other. And don't forget to, I'm supposed to say this, like or subscribe to the podcast.
Yeah, you got to say that. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe, hit the bell.
Hit it all.
Make it ring. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm supposed to do like a backflip right now, which I'm incapable of doing. But thank you for watching the Hot Wash. Dutch, thank you for coming.
Bruno, thanks so much for having me. And God bless you all. Stay tight. And you know, whatever we can do for you, I want to help you out. So however that can work.
We'll figure it out, man.
I want to continue the partnership and continue on, whether it's Dutch Chris Moyer Consulting or whether it's Sawmill or whatever.
No, we'll figure it out. And the only thing I ask you right now is just take care of Steve. Just take care of that man.
Do.
All right, everybody, thank you for listening.
Thanks, brother.
Amen. Thanks for tuning into this episode of The Hot Wash by Born Primitive Tactical. Don't forget to like, subscribe, or follow us at Born Primitive Tactical. I'll see you next time.